you check in Revelation, you'll find him talking about the fearful, and the fearful are mentioned even before unbelievers and idolaters and murderers and others. And when you deal with Hebrews, it talks about the falling away from the living hope, because in the sense that you are disobedient to the promise. God promises you something and you have to believe what he promises, and because what he promises is so much greater than your capacity to make it happen, then you have to wait on the promise, because God fixes things so that you never get confused as to who works it out. And what Satan wants me to do is look at my circumstance to abort my faith in the promise of God, because he makes my circumstance so horrendous that my sensual perception receives the horror of my circumstance and begins to reduce my expectation on my God. And so when God raised Jesus from the dead, I can look at every one of my circumstances and say, if God can raise Jesus from the dead, he can turn my situation around. Y'all sit down, we got a little bit more work here. I feel here, and sometimes I think he just sets it up so that he can show you, if I raise Jesus from the dead, I can bring your dope-headed son right back to the altar. Oh God, the hope then this brings, it spans the horizon, which opens over a closed existence, which means I don't have to stay locked up in this house. I'm shaking myself and I'm getting back in the race. So what faith does is it binds me to the power of God, and then faith brings us to Christ. But hope is the inseparable companion of faith, because faith is the substance, the hypostasis of things hoped for, the alakos, the evidence of things not seen. I have to have expectation when I get up in the morning, expectation when I move through the streets. I got expectation that what hasn't happened yesterday will happen today, for this is the day the Lord hath made, and I will rejoice and be glad therein. Whenever hope is taken away, I don't care how elegantly and eloquently you speak of faith, there is no faith where there is no hope. And that's why when you have nothing else to hold on to, you hold on to your hope. And when you have hope, you disturb the present and you mess up the devil's plan, because he thinks he's gonna break you, but hope says, I'm not gonna break, I'm gonna hold until God delivers the strength. Do I have the time?